Hola chicos y chicas, y bienvenidos a la clase de español. Welcome to Spanish class. Today we're going to be continuing to talk about el vocabulario that we've been learning about la ropa y los útiles escolares. Primero vamos a ver la ropa. We're going to review over these terms. You're welcome to say them along with me. I will pause in between, so if you want to repeat them, you can. But we're going to look at these. There's a couple of words on here that we have not seen before. So you might want to say them with me. If not, that's okay. But I'm going to go over each of these en español. So primero tenemos una camiseta, blusa, camiseta. Oops, I said camiseta for that. That's a camisa. I'm so sorry, my friends. Camiseta for this one, that's a t-shirt and a shirt. Vestido. Pantalones. Pantalones cortos. Falda. Chaqueta. Gorra. Or we could also call that a sombrero, a hat. Botas. Zapatos. Abrigo. Calcetines. Chanclas. Those are sandals. Zapatos. Tennis shoes. I'm sorry, zapatos de tenis. Tennis shoes. Y bolsa. Purse. These three we have not talked about before, and so we won't be seeing them in your activity today, but they're helpful for us to know. If you want to go back over those, you can. You can take the video back and say them again to practice saying them in Spanish. You will be needing these words today, so I would highly recommend that you have a good understanding of what these words are. We've also been talking about los útiles escolares, school supplies. We have lápiz, tijeras, carpeta, pegamento, cuaderno, creyones, libro y mochila. These are the school supplies that we've decided to focus on with the activities that we've been doing. We've been learning how to identify the item and then be able to say how much the item costs and be able to tell how much the total is. We're not going to be completely doing that today. Today your goal is going to be reviewing the vocabulary that we've been learning, and then after you've reviewed that vocabulary, you're going to play the online numbers game. The reason why we're doing this is because next week we're going to be doing an activity that requires you to know all of these terms and have a good understanding of your numbers in Spanish. So today is kind of a review day. So the first part of your activity is you're going to complete a Google Forms. This will be linked in my Google Classroom. You will pull it up and it will look like this. All of the questions are kind of shuffled. So the first question you have might not be this question, but it's going to give you the item. It'll say, ¿Qué es esto? What is this? And then you would click on the correct answer. Each question is worth 5 points. And so at the end, and you will have to write your name. I would have wanted this one to show up at the top, but because I clicked shuffle, it might not be all the way at the top. But when you're done, you will click submit, and then it'll give you a grade. So it'll tell you how many points you scored. If you scored 80 points or more, you can go ahead and play the math game, the numbers game that I have for you. If you score less than an 80, I'm going to highly recommend that you take the Google Forms again until you score an 80. Now, let's say you take it 1 or 2 times and you still have not scored an 80. That's okay. I want you to, you can instead, after you've done it a second time, you can go and play the numbers game. But I'm going to highly recommend that at least after the first time, if you have not scored an 80, I would at least take it one more time to see, just to help you practice that vocabulary. After you finish the Google form, so after you've scored at least an 80 or more, I want you to go to the numbers game that will be linked to my Google Classroom. And the numbers game will look like this. You can play at any speed. You can do slow, intermediate, or fast. And it'll have you play the game and practice your numbers in Spanish. To help you out, I would highly recommend that you pull up your numeros sheet that looks like this. I'll have it linked to Google Classroom as well. It has all of the numbers on it that you need. And so that should be able to help you for your activity. So again, your 2 things to do today is you're going to complete the Google Forms as best you can. Your goal is to make at least 80 points. If you make less than that, that's okay. But after the first time, if you made less than an 80, I would take it one more time. After the second time, if you've not made an 80 or scored 80 points, that's okay. No big deal. Just move on to the online numbers game. And so those are your 2 activities of the day. If you have any questions, please make sure to send me a chat on Google Chat or send me an email. I do not see questions very easily on Google Classroom because I don't get my notifications. So if you have a question, please send them to me on Google Chat or by email. All right, chicos y chicas, I hope you have a great day. I will see you next week. Adios.